Some people have challenged me, saying that I'm concentrating on people who were assassinated, but I am not talking about people who assassinated them. Well, for obvious reasons, that is the limitation of my scope and the interest of the viewers. I'll concentrate on those who were assassinated. But today I'm going to talk about one who assassinated another. The profile picture you have seen on this video is about Otieno AMBALA. He assassinated Horace Ongili. But let me start from A and not Z. When Tomboya was taking people in the famous airlift, among the people he took out for the famous airlift was Otieno AMBALA, who later became an assassin. He assassinated Horace Ongili. But then, this is the time when he was still young. He was taken to US, akasoma. He came back to Kenya. And when he came back to Kenya, in his luggage, he carried with him chips making machine. Just one chips making machine. Those days, Kenyans were used to having boiled or deep fried potatoes. But when somebody came up with the idea of small pieces of chips, at first they did not like the idea. He was strategically placed at Ambassador Hotel. So, and you see Ambassador Hotel is opposite the cinema. So people going to see the cinema, as they waited, they started taking chips there. Ambassador Hotel is the origin of chips in Kenya. You didn't know that? Now you know. He later went and handed over the business. For those of us who were there in the 70s, in the 70s we were buying chips. You remember at Ambassador Hotel, there used to be a place called Munyiri's Chips. He sold the business to Munyiri, and Munyiri continued, and everybody else continued from there. And even today, even the estates we are staying in, they are making chips and taking it to the roadside. From there, he joined up with Njenga Karume and started a business of distributing beer. They started a distribution point in town where they would take beer from Ruaraka, take it to Ronald Ngala Street near bus station, and then from there distribute it. And since the major alcohol of Kenya breweries is Tusker, the stage started being called Tusker. And I think the place, even today, is still called Tusker. From there, he went and invested a lot in real estate, especially in Kisumu. He became so rich and whatever. And there is a problem with the pocket. Many of us, when we become rich, the next thing we think of is to be the MP. So in 1979, 1 year after Jomo Kenyatta had died, Moi came up with the 1979 elections, And Moi was against it. I have said it somewhere else and I'll repeat here, and maybe I'll repeat in future, that Moi used the 82 coup as an excuse to show himself up. So in 1979, there are those people who were being sidelined. And in a game in Siaya, they wanted the MP for Yala, who was Isaac Omolo Okero. They wanted Isaac Omolo Okero out, and Otieno AMBALA took the advantage, and he became the MP for Yala from 1979 to 1983. 1983, there was an election, a general election. In the elections of 1983, Horace Ongili took the seat of Game Yala from Otieno AMBALA. You know, I've never been a politician, but a politician can want to kill because of the position he wants. So, 1983, Horace Ongili, Horace Ongili, you know, I'm using my neck-top computer. Horace Ongili Owiti became the MP for Yala Game 1983. In 1984, Ongili's biggest supporter was murdered. Up to today, nobody knows who killed that person. 1 year after he made his friend to be the MP. That is 1985. In 1986, Otieno AMBALA withdrew a lot of money from the bank. And a few days later, people invaded Horace Ongili Owiti's home and murdered him. In his home, there was a lot of money. Not a single cent was stolen. In his home, there was a lot of this small thing, you know. Robbers plan to steal, and whilst they are living, they look left and right to see if there is another thing that they can pick. When they looked left and, I mean, that is the normal robbery. But this one, their mission was only to go and kill the MP for Yala. So when they killed him, all evidences showed that Otieno AMBALA hired those people. Actually, even some of the murderers were caught and they were taken to Kodiaga. When they were taken to Kodiaga, two very funny things happened. One, during court appearances, one of Otieno AMBALA's co-accused, I've forgotten his name, 1985 to 2023, that is 39 years. Even my neck-top computer cannot remember the name of that co-accused. As they were waiting for hearing, a lady who was a sister to one of the co-accused approached him with like a small bag containing things. She was arrested and charged with unlawful communication with a prisoner, because somebody who is under custody, be it in the police cell or even prison, you have to seek Afande's permission to talk to that person. You have to seek Afande's permission to give that person something. And those of you, I have never, I mean, the people I've visited in prison, I never carried food, but all of you know, when you visit somebody in the police cells and you're taking there something, you are told to test that thing first before you hand over the... You tell the afande, I have brought this person soda na mkate. You don't test soda because it is sealed, but mkate you have to test before the prisoner is given. So first of all, you seek for permission, you are given permission. Then whatever food you are taking, they give you permission to... They have authority. If you want to give them, you want to give a prisoner food that they don't want, they'll refuse. They can, but if they want, they can allow you. And then when they allow you, especially the foods that are not properly sealed, you are made to test the food before the prisoner is given. But this lady, she never informed the court, she never informed the court orderlies, and she handed over something to her brother. When that thing was opened, there was a lot of shrubs, a lot of liquid, kama strungi, vitu kama hiyo. So she was accused of improper communication with a prisoner, and she was also accused of witchcraft. Then the hearing stopped. They were taken back to Kodiaga. Then one day, this assassin, you have seen the picture. One day he was in the cells alone. When he was in the cells alone, he started shouting, "Afande, kuja unise, afande, kuja, afande, afande." Ask a police officer, that is GD and military police. Ask any prison officer. When a prisoner shouts, ukikimbia uko mbio, it could be a trap so that you may end up being locked and he runs away. So usually you have to take precautions going there. And he was alone in the cells. He suffocated. Postmortem showed that he died of asphyxia. He had no oxygen in his system. But checking his body, there was no sign of strangulation. We are only left with one option, and that is the option everybody says. What I like calling Nyakach effect. Nyakach effect, when I talked about Ouko and said Nyakach effect, I know Ouko was from Kisumu. Nyakach, I said Nyakach because of Omweri. And also, it's a way, it's like Luhya. When you are talking about Luhya, uchawi, or even Nairobi, you tell somebody nitakwendea Kitui. But Waluhya anasema nitakwendea Navakholo. So this is what I'm saying. When I say Nyakach, I'm referring to uchawi. We all believe, of course I have suspended my Christianity for the purpose of this step. We all believe that Horace Ongili, when he was buried with Manyasi. And Manyasi had come to get this assassin inside jail. Manyasi haina mpaka. The prison borders doesn't stop Manyasi. And you can see Anguka, when he was the DC Nakuru, he would find Ouko seated on his chair. So next time you plan to murder somebody from Manyasi land, think twice.